Hello everyone and welcome back to the Darren Connell podcast show, Straight White Whale. Thank you for joining us again. Before I get into the podcast, I just want to give a shout out to this week's sponsor, Merchant City Medical. Merchant City Medical are a transmetic? Is that even a word?
Fuck knows.
Cosmetic. Transmetic. What the fuck is transmetic?
Let's do something different with this ad, right? Darren, how come your hair looks so great today, mate?
Merchant City Medical.
Who are they? Tell me more.
A cosmetic business based in Glasgow city centre, and that's where I got my hair transplant from. They also do other things like liposuction, Botox, lip fillers. They can fix your teeth, and you can get an injection into your penis that would make your erections better for sex. I don't know why I'm staring right into your eyeballs with it blinking as I'm saying that, Paul.
Guys, have you ever had trouble with your erection? Go to Merchant City Medical.
They're a great company, and I'm not just saying that. The guy that done my hair transplant is called Paul. He's a great guy. I know that when you go bald and you lose your hair and you go through that process, it can be a very daunting experience. A lot of people struggle with it. So see if you're struggling, just give Paul a phone on 07901 336 169. Ask him all the questions that you're worried about and he'll put you at ease. And then it's a very affordable kind of process as well. You pay a small deposit, you can pay it up monthly, and I've got one more payment left and it's this month. So there we go. Robbie Williams, mate.
Brilliant, mate. I wonder if he accepts nudes on that mobile number. Is it on Telegram?
Just hundreds of dick pics getting sent to him now. Flaccid ones though, because they're wanting to get that dick injection.
Voice notes. Here, mate, gonna help me with my dick.
Here, mate, can your boss get a hair transplant? Because I've got ginger boys.
Do they do the beard transplant?
They do the beard transplant. I don't know why I forgot about that, because that's one of the ones that I seen and I was like, I can't believe that.
No, people getting a beard transplant.
But someone very famous that I can't remember who it is got a beard transplant, and he said it was one of the most horrific, painful experiences out. I thought a hair transplant was hard.
Was it sore?
Yes, it was.
Did they give you anything?
Yes, and I feel very honoured, because they were like, it's 1 in 50,000 that will feel pain in the right hand side, so you won't feel any pain. In 15 minutes in, I was like, I can feel pain in my right hand side.
So you're basically an X-Man then?
Yeah, basically.
Right.
I'm a superhuman mutant.
Nice.
So I was like, I can feel pain. Give me more painkillers.
Give me more.
So how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Busy, as always, but no, I'm having a good week.
I haven't seen you in a week.
I know, man. I miss you.
I miss you as well. It's getting toxic from my regard.
You stalk my social medias.
Yeah,
and
I'm
all
getting
that?
obsessed, mate.
Aye, mate.
I'm getting obsessed.
Replying to my stories with the wee fire emoji and all that. I'm posting photos of my cat.
Aye, I'm getting obsessed.
That's fire, man. That's fire pussy, man.
Pussy. Right, so what are we going to talk about this week? We can't talk about nonsense. That was a full podcast last week on Prince Andrew being a sweaty nonce. Day 25, no cigars. 25. Day 20, no cigars.
Yep.
I feel brilliant.
Aye.
I feel good.
How long did it take for the whatever old man throat to disappear?
I'd say, honestly, man, quite long, about 15, 16 days.
That's crazy, mate.
Yeah.
That's fucking mental, considering that you smoked them for what, a year?
Yeah. And I had a lot of pain, see, right in there, deep, right in the throat. Very,
Right.
very painful.
Need to stop sucking dicks, mate.
Excuse me.
Or more. Maybe more. Maybe more
I think
dicks than they did.
It's called Fighting Fire with Fire.
Fighting fire with cum.
Have you ever sucked a dick?
No.
No, never. So,
Fucking lies.
so Prince Andrew, summer with Prince Andrew, cigars and
It
that.
wasn't me. Suck that guy's cock. I don't sweat. there was a sweat. There was a bit of sweat.
And then have you seen the picture of him though? It's like, I don't sweat. And then there's a picture of him in a fucking kettle, drenched in
Aye,
sweat.
mate. He's in the slam tent at Tina Park.
Fucking idiot, man.
Fucking sweat. We're not talking about the nonsense. We're not
We'll
talking.
move on for there. I've got lots of subjects here. I've kind of noted them down. They're all scribbled down. So this is my week. I went back and I did cold water swimming.
So how many times have we done it now?
That's my second time I've done it.
Right.
We went to
how
a
did you
different...
feel?
What's that?
How did you feel?
A different location this time. We went up to the waterfalls up in the Campsies, and it was stressful, mate. It wasn't enjoyable. Like
Right.
the first time was enjoyable. The second time it was like, soon as I was in the water, I was like, oh my god, man, this is hardcore. And my pal Max had his phone, and we did 5 minutes, and it was a fucking mental gymnastics, man. After it, I felt amazing, but I woke up today and I was in agony. And I noticed, like, I don't do weights, right? I've never really done weights in my life, but I woke up today and see there, I felt pumped, like I was doing weights.
Right.
And I was like moving, like, oh, fucking hell, man, it's sore. So it kind of felt like I'd done weights.
Right.
And I texted him and I said, mate, I feel like I've had a workout. And he's like, that's what happens. So I don't really know the science behind it.
You must have just been so tense.
Yeah.
Like pure, what the fuck? Get me out of here. It's been so tense that your muscles have like got an actual fucking workout.
Well,
That's crazy.
at one point I was just screaming, like flat out, just ah.
Right.
And he's like sitting there like it's a fucking warm bath.
You were going pure primal.
Aye, I was fucked.
That's class,
But I
man.
feel better. Feel like my skin's better. Feel good.
Did you get the euphoric feeling after it? Did you, that high that they talk about after the cold water?
Aye. Yep.
So what was the difference between the first time and the second time? Like,
So the first time was like more peaceful because it was up at Loch Lomond at Luss. It was beside the beach and it wasn't moving water. So it was like really just calm, and there was like ducks fucking swimming past us, like within touching distance.
right.
But up at the waterfall, it was just really loud, constant movement of water. It was colder as well, but I don't regret it. I felt amazing after it. My lunch was fucking brilliant. I just felt better. I went for a sauna and a steam room as well. Just felt totally detoxed. And at night, I had a great sleep as well.
That's the main thing, mate. Do you know what? I had an absolute fucking shocker of sleep last night, but it's my own fault. It's my own fault. I took an edible.
An edible?
Edible cannabis.
Oh my God.
Illegal
Do you
drug.
know who I am? I'm Bobby for Scott Squad. I do panto.
What does that mean? You're going to what?
I'm going to get cancelled.
Oh, right.
No, I was kidding on. So I've never took an edible before.
Right.
I take it a lot of people know what an edible is. Can you please explain to my audience what it is and how it came about and what was your experience?
I've took many edibles many times, but see, sometimes, man, it just hits you harder. I think it's because, like, as I was saying to my missus, like, it was all very nicely packaged, right? One of my mates was like, I've got edibles, do you want them? I was like, aye, I'll buy some. And he gave me them, and it was Millions. Do you know, like, the wee fucking chewy sweeties?
Yeah.
Millions.
Aye,
It was like branded as that, and it was like 600 milligram or whatever. I took the, like, sort of lumped together, and I took one lump and she took another. She was all right, and I fucking basically just passed out. But she was like, this morning, how come I was all right and you? I was like, because this is getting cooked in some cunt's kitchen in fucking Springburn. Like, they don't know what they're putting in, how many milligrams. Like, that's just for show. Like, they've got somebody in fucking DH Gate to make these wee fucking bags, and they just fucking stick weed into fucking sweeties and they sell them to you. But mate, I woke up at like fucking 2 a.m. and it was like I was meeting my demons, mate. I was literally, all the bad shit was just running through my head. It was like, I should be sleeping through this. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And I fucking sat up to about 4 and then get back to sleep and woke up at like 8. So I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock. So overall I got a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
But it was one of the ones that I didn't have a good time on it. But here, you know, roll with the punches, fuck it. Like, I'm still going to take it next time. I've still got some in the house. I might take another one tonight because It's like the cold water therapy, right? You're challenged. You're sort of like, oh fuck, and you feel like you're going to die. It's like, I'm going to fucking die here. And then you don't. You're like, oh, life's actually all right. I quite like life. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. You meet your maker.
Do you think it was supposed to happen?
What, like in the universe sort of thing, mate? I manifested a fucking bad trip.
Because like some people, you know, you'll have 5 beers and you'll get a buzz, but mushrooms aren't always amazing. You're supposed to sometimes have a stressful experience on them to benefit from it.
I get what you're saying. I've been no, I wouldn't say I would go so far to say stressed, but I've been busy. So I think like if there was a lesson for me to take for that last night, take something away, it's maybe like slow down. Like I was thinking about it this morning, I was looking at my calendar for next week and it's kind of like 3/4 full in comparison to this week, but I think I'll just stop taking any more like for next week and maybe just give myself a lighter week than I've had. So maybe you're right, mate. Maybe it was meant to happen.
Yeah. You've got to be kinder to yourself. I've changed a lot of things this year as well, and I've started eating meat again. I know I've told you.
Really?
I told you I was kind of dangling around it, but I've spoke to a couple of people that, you know, health people. And
Nutritionists?
Aye.
Right.
And through me telling them what's happened to me in the last 2 years with skin stuff and hair stuff, I've been told that I should start eating meat again.
Right. Do you supplement?
In the last year, I haven't.
Right.
And I know that's probably one of the main reasons.
I would say so. I think if you're going to eat a full plant-based vegan diet, you need to supplement. As far as I know, there's certain things, I think B12, and there's certain proteins that you just won't get. And you can get hemp protein, which is vegan friendly, but it's a supplement. I think you kind of need to supplement. I remember somebody saying to me, take fish oils. Like, they're no vegan.
Yeah, but you can get algae oil. It's omega-3 algae oil.
Right, can you?
So see fish.
So I'm the idiot.
Well, no, fish eat the algae.
Right.
And then that turns into omega-3. And then that's why we take omega-3. But you can just take the algae and it's better.
Right.
So even if you're a meat eater, I would recommend taking algae. It's just better.
Right.
Because then you don't take any of the fish. And it doesn't matter if you're a vegan or not. It's just better taking full algae. And I think it'd be better. So I'm going to kind of, I feel it myself as well. Physically, I don't feel healthy right now.
Right.
Internally.
Was the vegan diet supposed to be a health thing?
It was, and I felt like I felt amazing. But then I was supplementing. I was eating healthy. I was exercising. And then the second year of COVID happened and depression hit me. Stress hit me. I started comfort eating. I was kind of veggie, then I was vegan. I was eating a lot of cheese, started eating chocolate, crisps, fizzy juice and stuff, chips, shit that I wasn't eating in the first year. I've probably put on maybe fucking, honest to God, mate, I've probably put on about 5 stone. So I know that that's through comfort eating, disordered eating, stress eating. But I know that, I'm not saying that I won't go back to being vegan. I just feel like I've ordered from a prep company, right?
Right.
And I've paid full price. I'm not getting a deal on it.
Do you want to give them a shout?
My Prep, they're called. It's a UK-based prep company.
Popular, aren't they?
Very popular. They're in Glasgow. I think, who was the Scottish swimmer? Is it Michael Jamieson?
That's right, aye.
He used to work with them.
Right.
And I used them years ago and it's very, very healthy. But the way I'm looking at it is it's really healthy food, fish, all the usual stuff with your greens. So it's like 40 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs.
So they make sure that every meal's balanced between protein, carbs, healthy fats and fibre. And that's good, man. Just takes the thought out of it, doesn't it, man?
That's exactly why I'm doing it. I'm thinking it's 10 meals, porridge for my lunch, a protein bar for my, porridge for my breakfast, protein bar for my lunch, and one of them for my dinner. Get a structure for 10 days, and then I'll see what's happening. No. That doesn't mean that I won't eat vegan again, but there's a lot of unhealthy vegan food there as well, man. See things like, I mean, it's all right to have chickpea curries and stuff, and that's really healthy for you, but see when people start eating bacon and fake meat and shit.
Mm-hmm.
See, faking, mate. Faking is basically fake bacon,
Uh-huh.
and it's like 40 fucking ingredients in it. It looks like
Right.
cartoon Simpsons food.
Aye.
See, when you start eating all that shit, even though it's vegan, it's no good for you, man.
That's it, isn't it? I think that a lot of the times, I understand why somebody would be an ethical vegan. If I was going to be vegan, I would be unethical. This is my call to veganism, and the plant-based diet is based on the ethics and my sort of belief about, these chickens are alive, man. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, they've got no brains and they're running. It's like, this makes me feel, factory farming makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think that's healthy for you either. Like, the majority of the chicken and beef that you get, especially if it's like, you get like a fucking baguette for £1 or something like that. It's like,
supermarket meat is a no-go.
And I suppose if it says organic and stuff, you're like, right, okay, but you pay for that a wee bit extra. But I can't really get on board with people doing it for health reasons because you need to supplement.
Yeah.
There's something missing in it. Yeah, and kids, you cannot have vegan children. Like the so many. I mean, I've read a thing. This might be pure meat propaganda, by the way.
Yeah.
But I read a thing where somebody get their kids taken off them because of the bloods that were getting taken. They were like so malnourished. You need to grow your bones, or you need milk, you need calcium, like you need all these things. And I think like if you're then making an ethical choice for your kids and giving them supplements, it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That feels funny to me. But what do you reckon to like the Beyond? Like, if you tried like the Beyond Burger?
Yeah.
Mate, they're incredible, man.
Delicious.
How fucking tasty are they things, man. But are they bad for you then? 'Cause I don't know too much about it.
I think they're bad for you. They are bad for you. Because
Any worse than a beef burger?
I think it really goes to the type of beef burger. So if it's supermarket meat, I would say don't eat supermarket meat.
Right.
If it's a burger from a butcher's or a farm, then I would say it's probably healthier. But then, if you're having that burger with cheese and bread, and if you're just having the burger with a salad and something else, I think it would be healthier. I'm not a nutritionist, but the Beyond Burger, there's a lot of stuff in that as well.
Right.
But it depends. What I've learned recently as well, that everybody's body's different. So you might respond amazingly to a vegan diet. And
makes sense.
And I won't. But I noticed like I was getting open sores in my neck and just weird shit. Like I used to give blood all the time, and then see within 6 months of being a vegan, I went in to donate blood and they couldn't take blood. And then they said it's really common if you're a vegan. And then when my hair started falling out, the doctor was like, veganism can do that.
Holy fuck, right. So
and this is me living through that experience, and I've done it, and it's benefited me for a while, and then it never benefited me. Obviously stress, depression, lockdown, COVID, all that shit never helped. I think I've got an eating disordered eating as well, so I go to food for like a drug. All that
when you're stressed, you eat more. When you need comfort, you
all that shit didn't help. All that shit didn't help. But I've ordered a lot of protein bars from my protein, but they're all vegan. I still have oat milk, so it's not like I'm not gonna start fucking drinking bone marrow soup. Like I'm just want to get a normal healthy structure in my life. All my vitamins are vegan. So I don't know if like I'll get these meals out the way, see how I feel, and I might go back to plant-based. But I might just eat that stuff in the house, and then if I say me and you go for a munch one night, if there's a curry there and it's a vegan, I'll get it.
You'll get that. I think you're doing. I mean, you're noticing that things aren't great, sort of like physically with sores and hair falling out. And if you're speaking to a nutritionist, you're speaking to a doctor, and they're saying that this could be an adverse impact to your plant-based diet, I think really and truly you would be a bit of an idiot not to do what you're doing and sort of go, let's reintroduce some meat and let's see how, if it improves, if any, and if it doesn't, I'll go back to it. But
Yeah.
I mean, mate, I genuinely think oat milk, coconut milk, almond milk, it's nicer than fucking milk. Like, see, when you have like coconut milk with a coffee, it naturally sweetens it. It's so good, like so much. I think it's better. I'm not a big fan of like I eat meat. I eat chicken, fish, eggs, beef, whatever. I don't really pork. I'll eat whatever. Fucking bacon, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I hate milk.
Yeah.
I used to love it, mate. I used to be pure gold cap. Like fucking drinking the fat straight out the fucking udder. And see, I went through a wee health kick a few years ago, and I did the where you take everything out your diet and then you reintroduce it to see what's causing like your IBS and like causing inflammation, just to see if you're. And when I reintroduce milk, mate, see, like if I go and get a milkshake from McDonald's or something, mate, I'm crippled with pain. So I think I might be like lactose intolerant a wee bit.
Yeah.
Maybe even invited it into my life a wee bit by doing that, like taking out my diet. But I love coconut milk, mate.
Well, anytime I've had a personal trainer or something like that, the first thing, I remember the first time it happened, the guy was like, do you drink milk? And I was like, in my tea. And he's like, ditch milk. And this was like a steak eating PT. He's like, it's nothing to do with veganism, but it brings nothing to the table. It's no good for you. The only milk you need is when you get breastfed when you're a kid. After that, you don't need it.
Bitty.
Aye, bitty now. So
here's an interesting fact for you. Do you know that there's THC in breast milk?
What's THC again?
The active cannabinoid ingredient of cannabis that make me have a fucking panic attack at 2 a.m. There is a microdose of CBD and THC in breast milk.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people find breastfeeding weird, but my dad breastfed me and I'm all right. Hey, come on, baby. It's a podcast.
We're normalising this, but aren't we? Like, this is getting more normal. That breastfeeding is like a natural sort of thing. Like, you get guys that are like, it's disgusting, and it's like, where's your head at, mate? Why is it disgusting? Like,
why is it always guys as well?
I know. Sick fucking why they just see it as something sexual. It makes them feel uncomfortable in the presence in public because it's like, I want to stare at her tits, and it's like, that's a mother feeding her child. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but notice if somebody's got a banging set of tits and they're fucking whipping them out to feed their Wayne, right? You're going to notice if you're if you like boobs, right? But why does it make you feel uncomfortable? Just ask yourself that. Why does it make you feel uncomfortable that she's feeding her Wayne in front of you, you mad fucking creepy bastard?
I always remember when Celtic, I don't know if Celtic led the way with this, but see when there was free sanitary products at Parkhead.
Yeah.
I think it was Celtic.
Celtic were the first team to do it because Erin
Boyle,
Michaela, and oh god, I can't remember the third lass's name. That's Shikes. I had them on Rebel City. Call it out. I can't remember what the fucking campaign was called now, but anyway, they were Celtic fans, so they started on their own doorstep.
Yeah.
And then I think when they packed it in, it was like 250 clubs,
amazing.
Like worldwide.
Erin Boyle, an amazing Scottish poet, and she's a mad Celtic fan. She does a lot of work with that, what's that foundation? The Connell
Foundation?
Aye. So I never realised that they started that, but see when that was a thing, basically it was free sanitary products for females at football games, and there was just this horde of men saying, how come that's fucking free and how come we're not getting this and why is that a thing? And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Do you take your own bog roll with the fat bottle, wipe your ass if you desperately need a shite? No. So like women are not in control when their menstrual cycle kicks in.
Yeah.
So you need to and period poverty is one of these unspoken things that must be so shameful. If imagine being 15, like a young teenager, and going through fucking all that shit, and you take your period at the football and you're with your dad and your uncle.
Yeah.
What you gotta do? Now you can go to the toilet and it's there free of charge.
Aye.
The Sandyford throw out 3 Johnnies, right? So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, get a grip it, and then you get into this. It's just the pure sexism that's still present in football, mate. Like, there's a female Celtic podcaster, and actually I've not seen her about a lot, and I think she might have actually packed it in, which is a shame. I think her name was Natasha. She went on Sky Sports she's on a prominent Celtic podcast, a Celtic State of Mind, I think, with Paul Dyke, and she got asked to go on Sky Sports and make a comment during the shit show that was the 10 in a row season, and she got stuck into Neil Lennon.
Blonde hair.
Aye, and guys were like pure, who does she think she is having an opinion on football? You're like, what fucking year's this?
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sake.
It was a very... I respected her opinion. She had a lot of good things to say. I 100% agreed with her.
Aye, so did I.
Like, she was right. I never realised she disappeared off the scene.
Well, I've not seen her, so I'm wondering, because she was quite prominent and getting a lot of retweets. I don't think I followed her, but she did. You would see her kicking about, commenting. Obviously, we're Celtic fans, so we get Celtic Twitter right in our face, and I've not seen her, so I'm wondering if
Celtic
she's...
Twitter. See, Celtic. I mean, I love Celtic, right? Obviously, I'm a Celtic fan, and I love Celtic. It's a charity. It's a football team based on a charity, and there's some beautiful parts of it. But see, some of the fans, man, some of them are cunts, mate. Horrible cunts.
Mate, this is it. Like, we're no immune to being ball bags, and that's for fucking sure. And within the Celtic support, I have met many fucking ball bags, like, that you're just like, mate, Going out to Ibrox, man. Fucking get out of here, man. Your type's no welcome here. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. Speaking of cunts, Betty White was 100 this week.
Oh, mate.
Happy birthday, Betty White. Thank you for being a friend.
Would you shag an elderly lady? Would you pump a granny? That's what I'm trying to... There's that in Glaswegian for you.
How old?
Betty White, before she dies.
I would shag Betty White,
No.
just because it was Betty White.
Do you know who I've definitely got a thing for? Meryl Streep.
She's beautiful.
Oh, mate.
Beautiful woman.
See fucking Mamma Mia? That piece of shit, terrible, right?
Yeah.
But I could just... Meryl Streep's hot, man. Like...
I like
Give a bit of that.
40 plus hand jobs.
What, in one go? No, like you like a wee hand job of. Do you know where I think? See, just as you said that, right? A memory triggered, and I think, see, when that happens, it's usually quite important. Do you ever watch Shameless?
Not
Back in the day, but did you watch it back in the day?
Yes.
Do you remember the woman that was Frank's wife?
Aye.
I was into that, man. I was totally into that, and there was a storyline where the local police officer was having trouble with premature ejaculation, and there was like a bit where she had like a rubber glove on and she was giving him a hand job, and that just came into my head there when you said I like over 40s hand jobs. I was like, my balls twinged, and I thought about her with rubber gloves on and was like,
I'll be YouTubing that later. What else? Have you seen this new trend of...
Sorry.
What? You having flashbacks?
Aye, mate, sorry.
I forgot to bring it up there. I was trying to fit it in with the meat eating, but have you seen this new trend on Scottish Twitter? The massive chicken ball.
No.
So, you know how you had Nando's, now you've got Black Sparrow or fucking Black Rooster. Now, it's... what's the fucking Ice Blast stuff? That was a thing.
Right. Tango Ice Blast.
No, it's a massive chicken ball. Like a gigantic chicken ball you can get for your Chinese.
Right, let me look. Massive chicken ball on Twitter. What's happening here? What's the Chinese takeaway that does the massive chicken ball? 1 hour ago.
I tweeted that.
Wong Ho Lo, the Sky Dragon and Drummy.
Yes.
Right, okay.
They've put rice, chicken balls and something else in it, and everybody's gone fucking mental for it.
Oh, I've just seen it. Right, so it is a Chinese style batter with chicken curry fried rice in it. Mate,
Could you do that?
I'm starving.
Aye.
That sounds... Oh, fuck aye, mate. Aye, wow.
That with an Ice Blast?
Give me a giant chicken ball with a Tango Ice Blast in Nando's with my cheeky wee bird with my fucking
Ford car.
Nike Air Max and my Audi plus my hair transplant.
Aye.
With my veneers doing my cold water therapy, mate. You're just turning into a fucking cliche.
It's like a werewolf, isn't it? I've been bit. So it's like the hair transplant happened and now it's cold water therapy. Next week I'll be like, that Black Rooster troops, fucking quality, man.
And do you know what? I mean, Black Rooster is good, but Why do people like come in their drawers about fucking chicken and rice and chicken and chips, man? It's like, calm down. Calm the fuck down. See, years ago when I was in Albufeira, which is in the Portuguese Algarve, that's where all that shit comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So like Nando's is a Brazilian or Portuguese. So like Brazil's a Portuguese colony.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they speak Portuguese in Brazil, and you know, like they basically raped and pillaged their women or whatever like that. Like all colonists do, you know.
Yeah.
Ding. We love that. But that's a Portuguese thing, like the chicken. And I went to like a traditional sort of Portuguese chicken hut type thing, and mate, it really was amazing. And it was so cheap because it was for like the people that live there, and they're quite a poor community. But mate, you could get like a full chicken, a plate of chips, and a stein of beer for like fucking €10.
Oh,
But the quality of these chickens, mate, they were fucking to die for. It wasn't Nando's. I genuinely think Nando's is quite pish.
yeah.
Like overpriced.
It's
fucking
really overpriced. Disaster how much it's overpriced. The vegan stuff is nice, but it's everything's overpriced. It's like 20 quid for a munch.
for what's basically a chicken and a pita bread and chips
Aye.
with some fucking hot sauce. How are you with spice?
Do you know I've changed? When I was younger, I could go really spicy. When I was young, I used to have like 18 to 25. I was Vindaloo's and stuff. But see now, I don't know, man. I could still eat spicy food, but I don't know if I enjoy it. Because see, when I'm hungry, I just want to eat it. But see, when it's spicy, I'm like, fucking hell, this is a shift.
Right, aye.
But I'm a fat cunt, mate. I'd eat shite.
Hot sauce and shit. Like turd and hot sauce. I've got a mouthful of asbestos. I'm like fucking, my missus is sitting Greek next to me and I'm like, that doesn't even taste peppery to me.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, actually, have you ever seen Hot Ones?
Hot?
Hot Ones?
No.
It's a YouTube show. And what they do is they have like 10 chicken wings, 10 hot sauces, and they interview celebrities while they try and eat these hot sauces. And there's one of them that's called The Bomb Beyond Insanity, and it's like 500,000 Scovilles.
Oofed.
And apparently this is like crazy, but I watched a YouTube video of a guy the other night eating 6 wings, and he was like, it's not even that bad. And I'm like, I think I'm like that. I think me and him are like separated at birth as much as he was like black and I'm no, like, but I was going to say, do you want to, if I get a bottle of this, The Bomb, I'll bring it in and we'll try it on the podcast and we'll see how we find it. We'll just get a couple of chicken wings and put a wee bit on.
Yes, I'll try it.
Right, I'm going to order that off Amazon, mate, right?
Spicy food is good for you. That's a myth that people think it's bad for you. I mean, and if it's like curried, like noodles shit, that's bad. But like genuine spice in an Indian or something, it's good for you.
Got to be, mate. You have a wee sweat, you have a wee poop. That's the bad thing about having a real high tolerance for spice, mate. I have some spicy shites. Like, when I eat it, I'm like, this is fine. When it's coming out my fucking hole, it's like shitting pure fire sometimes, man.
Your gut health must be incredible.
Really?
Aye. If you're passing waste all the time, it must be good.
I have one huge shite every day in the morning. After my coffee, I have black coffee, pint of water, and it's time for a shit, mate. It's shit o'clock. Like,
You have one meal a day?
Well, for all intents and purposes, 2,500 calorie meal.
Aye.
Well, I need to eat my calorie minimum. I'm not going to run about in a deficit like no energy. I need to hit my minimum calories, but my eating window's 4 hours, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I pretty much continuously eat throughout that time. Just one big meal and then like snacks.
So what would you say you eat?
Sorry?
Normally, what would you eat?
On an average day, I have a balanced dinner. Like the other night I had baked potato, baked beans, tuna mayo, and in with the tuna mayo I put some Frank's hot sauce and one of the fucking bird's eye steam bag of veg.
Yeah.
I had that was my dinner. So protein, beans, like fats, and the tuna as well, mayonnaise, like full fat mayonnaise, vegetables, carbs with the totties, the baked totty, wee bit of cheese. So that would be like my dinner, and then after that I eat like Trek protein bars. I have like gluten-free crisps, stuff like that, like pretzels, just shit like a graze on stuff. But I'm a nighttime eater. Like I've always been like that ever since I was a wee boy. during the day, can take it or leave it, but at night time I've always been like into eating, so I just form my diet around that and just suit myself. Works for me.
Good, mate.
Enjoy it.
I'm fucking starving now.
I know, mate. We've been talking about Nando's and hot sauce and fucking Black Rooster.
I know, slagging them. And
Do you know what the real killer was there, mate? That fucking chicken curry, fucking chicken ball, mate.
oh,
I'm burping now because I'm so hungry. Fucking bastard.
I put hot sauce in a lot of food as well, just a wee bit of hot sauce. I'd rather do that than have a spicy curry now. I'd put a wee bit over my food. And
Is it Frank's?
aye, Frank's is
man.
amazing.
It's the daddy, isn't it, man?
I have Tabasco, man, but it's a bit hot there now. I'm like, fuck.
Hotter than Frank's?
Aye.
I have the Frank's extra hot. See the hottest Nando's sauce? I would say that's, to me, that's the first level of spice where I'm like, I can acknowledge that that's spicy, but see everything under that in Nando's, I don't feel it at all. It's just got a flavour.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that means.
I'm getting a Nando's after this.
Aye, we'll talk about how shite it is.
Aye.
Phone fucking Nando's, get it here right now.
Get an Uber Eats Nando's here, Paul, right now. I've got notes down here that are just like half-arsed notes, like robots are showing emotions.
So, did you see, is this based on that mad
Aye.
fucking video of that robot trying to show emotions?
Aye, it looks like it's in a kettle.
Mate, I did a pumping tweet where I fucking retweeted it, quote tweeted it with a fucking gif of Trump. Then he's mad, see like his mad face that he does, like the pure
Aye.
mad stank face or whatever they call it. Fucking didn't get any likes. Unappreciated.
How come your Twitter's not getting any traffic?
I think I'm a boring bastard, mate. I think just a money boring. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't pay that much attention to it, to be fair. No consistency. Post 2 tweets on a Monday and then you'll not see it for like 3 weeks and then I'll post something. So I think I just don't get into people's feeds. So
Start tweeting more.
nah.
Massive chicken balls like that.
Fucking yes, man.
Happening, troops.
Do you think that there's another city quite like Glasgow for making unhealthy food? Or taking something that's already unhealthy, such as a breast of chicken curry with fried rice, and making it even more unhealthy by sticking it in a fucking pastry?
It's like a doner kebab, right? A large doner kebab with everything on it. Let's wrap it in a fucking naan bread. You're like, come on, man.
How good is that though, mate?
It's good.
It's so good. Did you miss doner meat while you were vegan?
No, not really.
No?
I went through the change, because some of the food is incredible, mate. See, vegan junk food, it does a trick, but I did miss kebabs.
You ever have the
Why am I
plant-based shawarma?
Aye.
That stuff's banging, mate. I love that shit.
That does something to your arse, though, man.
Like you're saying, it's not good for you.
Aye, because normal kebabs, like that had a worse effect on me than a normal kebab.
Have you ever been to Best Kebab in town?
I've not been in years. They're a bunch of smelly bastards,
Have
man.
you seen the reviews?
Aye, for Ravy Davy. Just
the guy?
Aye, in general.
On TripAdvisor, and he's just pure, it's your mother that stinks and all that, and just pure geese it to them. I used to go to that place after nightclubs religiously, mate. Strathclyde Student Union, straight to Best Kebab. It was like, what a religion.
Aye, because they do this thing that I always loved called the Sorbeni. The Sorbeni was brilliant, but they're bumping bastards.
They're stinking now.
Nothing on it.
They're stinking now, mate. Like, I went maybe about 5 years ago to get a Sorbeni, and it was a howling, mate. I didn't even eat it. You could smell the fucking salmonella off it, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to the place. It used to be, I don't know if it's the quality of food that's now available. You need to remember, like, when I'm saying that me and my mates went there after Strathclyde Student Union, you're probably talking about 2003, 2004, right?
Yeah.
Has the quality of food got so much better that we now look at that and like, that's fucking disgusting? Or has it actually got worse? Because I think it's always been pretty barking.
It's always been barking.
Right.
But back in the day, I was just a slob and I never gave a fuck. I would eat kebabs for farm foods, like for the freezer.
Remember them in the wee paper bag?
Aye.
How shite. Did you ever have the burger in the paper bag?
Aye.
Where if you over microwaved it for like a second, one half it went rock hard and you'd be like pure, it'd be like crisps, but like a burger.
How the fuck are we not dying, man?
Well, we'll see what happens in 20 years, mate, and all the microchips. And I don't mean like I mean, like, McCain microchips start seeping out of fucking pores and like, we just turn into a big pile of microchips.
I love that when you say the online reviews, the guy takes the bite, because I've seen that with other takeaways. They'll be like, Davey Mackay for Poso's banned for life for leaving fucking bad reviews. You're just shite, mate.
Aye, pure. That dude, I think, is that a Chinese somewhere where he's just pure banned? He just keeps on going, your arse or whatever, banned. Nah, fuck you, banned.
Aye, so robots are showing emotions. So,
where do you see this ending? Because have you seen like the Boston? It's no Boston Analytics. That's Cambridge Analytics. Boston, is it Boston Dynamics or something like that? Have you ever seen the fucking robots that these cunts are making? With like the dogs.
it is iRobot.
It's scary shit.
It's iRobot with Will Smith. And I think we are probably 100 years away from, if you're working in a factory, you'll be standing beside a robot.
I don't think you'll be there.
Aye.
I don't think we'll be there. I think this is part of the problems that we face in society is that, mate, it's not even the factories. There'll be no doctors. GP, gone. Pharmacist, gone. Like, why would they need a human to do that?
Yeah.
It will literally be, they'll have automation take care of all of that shit. Like, you can already see it at Tesco, McDonald's.
Aye.
You know, like, there's no count. Think about back when we were young. You'd walk into McDonald's and there'd be like 20 tills.
Yeah.
Now you go in, there's 3 and
Yeah.
a bunch of fucking screens that people punch into. So I don't think we'll be flying planes, driving buses, taxis. It's going to go pure total recall, mate. Like,
Aye.
I genuinely think that.
I think that as well, mate, and it's quite sad. And remember when self-checkouts came in with Asda and stuff, everybody was like, this is fucking mental. But no, it's just
The norm.
the norm.
I
aye.
prefer it.
Aye.
You
So there.
need to deal with some fucking prick that, you know what I mean? Doesn't want to be there.
No, it's going to be robots that don't want to be there. How shite would that be, a robot that works in Asda?
They'll program in SAS, or they'll program in fatigue. So if you go in at 6 o'clock at night and you scan your thing, it'll go,
Aye. God's sake. How long do you think it'll be before somebody tries to bump one?
well, have you seen Black Mirror?
Aye.
Well, I think that maybe a lot of sexual deviancy will go away if we can just sort of who knows where that ends, man? Like
Pump
fucking
fuck it, a robot.
shagging robots, man.
Half Wayne, half robot.
Like, how tight do you want it? Like, super tight.
That's fucking vile, man. You're vile
I'm a
chat.
fucking terrible human being that I am.
It's alright for you, you're fucking hiding behind the camera.
Cunts know who I am, mate. You've outed me. Bastard. Tagging me and everything. Like,
The
there's Paul there.
robot pedo.
The robot pedo. What? What the fuck? What the fuck? Where did you get pedo for that?
I retract the pedo statement.
Right.
The robot beast.
Aye, okay. Aye, robot deviant. Pure, what's your type? Robots.
Aluminium. I've started watching old school films again. I've got a lot of more free time. So I have just I felt like I've started back for the beginning. All these new
The beginning of what?
film. All these shitey new. Like, I go back to the start, I'm bored with my tits.
Right.
All these things on Netflix and Amazon Prime, I'm like, I can't do box sets. So I went back and I love horror films. I think I've said this many times on the podcast. Have you ever heard of a film called Freaks?
No.
Freaks was a horror movie made in 1923, and it was about the circus, and it's been voted as one of the greatest horror films of all time. Now, it's about a travelling circus,
Right.
and in the circus, this is why it was so controversial, because it was 1923, they just hired all the actors that actually worked in travelling circuses
Right.
and freak shows. I don't mean to be offensive, but that's what they were called. It
Aye,
was
they were
called a
labelled
freak.
that, weren't they?
Aye.
Aye, like the bearded lady, the fucking super strong man and stuff
Aye.
like that, right?
And that's what they called themselves. So it was just like hired people from that time getting jobs.
Uh-huh.
And it's about a woman in the circus that is attracted to a dwarf that's really wealthy, and he falls in love with her. But all the other freaks realise that she's sinister and she's up to no good. And
Right.
at first it started off like, oh man, this is horrible, because it feels like they're taking advantage of disabled people, really, and they're filming them. But then it gets really good, and by the end, it's like, I can understand why this is probably one of the greatest horrors of all time. It get banned. As soon as it came out, it get banned.
Right.
And it never get re-released until the 60s again. But one of the dwarf guy in it, the dwarf guy was one of the dwarfs in The Wizard of Oz, one of the main guys.
Right.
So it was a fucking brilliant film. I've got no joke here, I've got no kind of thing to say about that, but it was just so cool to see a film from that era made.
Where'd you watch it?
Just in my house.
Aye, but how did you get access to it? What,
right.
What platform? There's a joke.
On Prime for
So it's on Amazon Prime.
£1.50.
Rented it.
Aye.
Brilliant.
And it was brilliant. So I finished that. I'd get
What's
10.
made you go back to like that far back?
Because I'm quite like, I love looking at, see, 100 greatest songs or albums or films of all time. So
Right.
I just Googled it out of curiosity, and I realised I've seen most of them, but then I started doing horror films and other things, and I'm like, for somebody who loves horror, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. So I'm going to go into the first Frankenstein next.
And is that Hammer?
No, that's like Boris Karloff. Like,
Right. What was that? What was the company then? Was it?
you're talking about Hammer House of Horror?
Aye, they did a Frankenstein and a werewolf and all that.
So
sort of
I
stuff.
think Hammer House of Horror is a British company, and they were doing it in the 70s to the 80s.
Right. Christopher Lee and stuff like
Aye.
that. Right. Okay.
But the one that I'm going to watch is, I think that was MGM. And
Right.
it was like back in the 30s and the 40s, and he was
Right.
the original Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I'm going to just kind of work my way through that.
That's class, mate. If you're into horror, you may as well go and educate yourself on it and
Yes.
see what you love. And aye, that's it. I'm sure you'll find shit that you're like, fuck, man. The 70s was a real, like, great time for horror movies. Like, I think that horror now, I'm not really into it. Like,
Yeah.
I think I kind of gave up after Paranormal Activity
Yeah.
because I loved, like, so I watched Paranormal Activity on a night flight back to Las Vegas, and I couldn't sleep.
Wow.
Because
Because you
of
were scared?
no, because of the time differences. So it was just when we were flying across America, it turned into night, but it was like the fucking flight took off at like 7 a.m. in Vegas. So I was like ready for my day.
Yeah.
And I was just stuck in this flight, and everybody went to sleep, and they turned the lights off because it was dark, and everybody was sleeping. And I sat and watched Paranormal Activity, mate, and I was shitting myself. I'm no joke, man. It's one of the best horror experiences I've got. That and the first time I watched The Japanese Ring, and I watched it in a portable telly, and one of my mates' big brother's loft full of hash, and just was like, nah, man, get that to fuck. But it was good. That's why you do it, isn't it? You're scaring yourself.
Yeah.
But see, after Paranormal Activity, I think modern horror's either too gory, like too far, where you're like, that doesn't even look real to me. It looks real, but I don't believe it. Or they're trying to be too like kind of like, ooh, like Paranormal Activity in that way. You don't actually see anything. Nothing
Yeah.
really happens. It's just like this invisible, there's footprints, and then you see the thing, and you're kind of like, you get chills. It's all just been kind of like downhill for there. But see, Dario Argento, like the Italian gore for the 70s, the first, I mean, one of my favourites of all time is the original Evil Dead.
That's amazing.
Mate, how good is that movie, and how good a character is fucking
Bruce.
what's his name? Bruce Forsyth? No,
Bruce, how come I don't know that? It's
I say
shocking.
Bruce Banner, but it's no. But
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, mate, yes. That's one of the original, before they remade it, and like the second one, the original fucking outstanding horror, mate. I love
I think
that
the
shit.
remake. Have you seen the remake as well?
But the remake or Evil Dead 2 or
No, the
new
recent one.
I haven't no.
It was good, mate. Very gory, but it's a good tip of the hat to an original kind of.
Do you want to hear something creepy? The first time I watched the original Evil Dead, I had a girlfriend and we sat and we watched it, and then she was like, let's go to the park.
Fuck.
and shagged next to a tree. And if you know anything about the Evil Dead, she gets raped off a tree. Like, his bird gets fucking molested off a tree. And this lassie that was with was like, can we go to the park? It was like Friday night, 11 o'clock at night. She's like, can we go to the park and like shag next to a tree? And obviously, you know, I was like 17. I was like, aye, we're going to do it. But as I look back now, I'm like,
She got Facebook?
a bit suspect. she'll sell you feet pics. I don't talk to her anymore.
I knew one
I
of
wonder
fuck's
why,
sake.
mate. Aye, pure having rape fantasies about a tree.
Aye.
But I'm into that. Like, I love all the 70s, 80s and 90s horror.
Yeah.
I love all that shit.
I agree with you, mate. I think modern day horror has took a major dip. There's some classics like It Follows. Have you seen that?
Is that an extension of it?
No.
No.
It
No.
Follows. It's a really amazing independent horror film, right? It's very hard to describe what it's about. It's about, I think it's like a demon or some type of spirit that invades someone's. No, in fact, it's not. Only. What's that noise?
You hearing that? You hearing something? I heard something there, man, through my headphones.
What did you hear?
Like a chatting noise or something.
Honestly?
Aye. The spirits.
The spirits. It Follows. I'm going to bastardise it, so just Google it. It's an amazing film. And what else is good? What's the one about the cult, the Swedish cult? Midsummer. You seen that?
Never seen it.
Oh, mate.
I need to watch
Take
it.
an edible and go watch that.
Be sitting with my behind my fucking quilt.
It's like an American girl who starts going out with a Swedish guy for their summer holiday. They go back to Sweden and his family are part of this cult. And she's there with all her mates. And I don't want to ruin it, but it's amazing. So, Midsummer, It Follows, and there's hundreds of modern day horror films. Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell's great.
That was good.
Aye, man. There are ones that come up that you're like, fuck, man, that's class.
But, you know, for every Drag Me to Hell, there's 500 shiters.
Aye.
It's not the 70s anymore.
They're trying too hard. I think that's what I feel like. They're pure trying too hard instead of letting it just be scary. Like, because the thing I love about horror is that it's your mind that does the scaring.
Yeah.
Like, you could just, like, aye, that wee bit in The Exorcist where the Grim Reaper flashes on the screen, like, traumatised people. Literally got that thing banned, and it's one frame.
Mental.
One frame of a white face, and it's just your head does it. Your head does it to you, man. That's what I love about it.
The first time I ever watched it was, I think it was out in 1994. I was 5. So I watched it when I was 6 or 7. See, the first time I watched that haunted me for years, mate. That gave me a genuine fear of clowns.
Me too.
And dolls as well. Just anything that even looked like a clown.
Tim Curry's fucking amazing in that, but as an adult, when the DVD came out, because it just had never been out in DVD and all this type of stuff, I worked in Virgin Megastore and the DVD came out and I bought it and I was like, I cannot wait to watch this. And I got a couple of mates, you seen this? No, let's watch this. And they were looking at me like I was a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck? You look back, you're like, oh, this isn't scary. But when I was a wee guy, mate,
it was
petrifying. Petrifying, man.
Because I watched it recently and the CGI stuff is awful.
The bit he's a big fucking spider and all that.
Aye. And the bit he comes out of the shower. But the remake it was brilliant. The first one was brilliant. The second one was alright. It was good enough.
It's the times, isn't it? Like, if you go back, suppose you're proving that wrong when you're going back to the 20s and you're like, I suppose when I'm saying that, there's no CGI. That's just all humans that's in that. So that'll carry weight until you get to the point where it's like Freddy Krueger and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like,
I mean, there was a bit in Freaks, right? I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a bit when the Freaks unite to go against somebody who's a bad person, and see watching them all become one in this scene that was no CGI. It was just old school camera work. I was like that. I mean, if I feel like this watching it the new, I wonder what it was like back then.
Aye, mate.
Because see, back then, it was Wizard of Oz, it was Marx Brothers films, it was Charlie Chaplin shit. You didn't see disabled people on the screen. You never even seen black actors on the screen.
aye, they used to blackface, didn't they?
I love the Marx Brothers, right? And I know that the Marx Brothers are no racist because they're Jewish. They've been through a lot of shit themselves. But there's a Marx Brothers film when, do you know, I'm no 100% sure on this, but I think Groucho Black's up, and I'm like, fuck. So
I think that's just that is one of the ones that would get cancelled now, and people would shit on it, and then that means that the Marx Brothers were racist, and you need to just realise that it was a different time.
Yeah.
Like, if people, so before anybody's like pure, oh well, you know, it was a different time. If somebody does something, you know, like, fuck, like people like battering their wife or what, there's no excuse for that. Like, that's no, it wouldn't be like it was a different time. But in media, talking like movies, the Marx Brothers wouldn't have got their movies on the screen if they didn't black up. There was no black actors. It was totally like segregated.
Yeah.
They didn't cause that. They would be a victim of the circumstance that they found themselves in. They had to do that.
Yeah. Plus, they were Jewish as well, so they were victims, like, because they were discriminated against. I mean, they always have been, but back in the day, it was worse.
Have you ever seen Reefer Madness?
I haven't seen it. I've just seen clips of it.
Heard about it. I'd watch that, mate, because it's funny to watch the insanity of
Is this a film?
It was it was like basically what turned out to be years later funded by the US government, but it was a movie that was released. So what would be the equivalent nowadays? Maybe like some sort of like zero dot 30 or what, you know, like the government kind of like trying to push their narrative on a situation that like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like made by the government but released as this is the blockbuster movie of the summer, Reefer Madness, and it's so funny, mate. Like, they're literally taking like one draw a joint and like going schizophrenic and like barting fuck at each other. It's funny just to watch it, just to be like, people were actually watching this terrified, you know, like hearing that their kids were at college smoking weed and watching this movie and being like, oh God, you know, they're going to go rape each other and murder each other. And it's quite funny to go back and watch stuff like that. But I'm going to watch that Freaks 150 on Amazon Prime.
I'm going to watch Reefer Madness. I'm going to put this here so I don't forget it. But Freaks is brilliant. Aye, so
what a wrap.
I think we're going to wrap. I don't really want to do over an hour. I know people are busy in the world. I enjoyed the chat, Paul. Thank you very much.
Me too, mate.
As always. And again, I just want to thank Merchant City Medical for sponsoring the podcast. That goes towards covering the fees for the studio to film the podcast. If you enjoy my work, you can donate a coffee through the coffee app. It's on my Twitter and my Facebook, and the price of a coffee would be £3, and that just goes towards me earning a living. It doesn't go towards anything else. So thank you very much for the support. Betty White was 100.
I'd pump Betty White.
I'm going for a chicken ball that's 10 foot tall. Tall? See you next week.
Yes.
10 foot tall.